on this week's episode of The Chris and Andre Show.
Pop culture.
Speaking of that, like when it comes to opinions, like we got to be careful, because when we look at like it's a sociological epidemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
We look at these things through whatever rose-colored lenses that we want to have, or our perspectives, or our programming, and how we see the world. Our media is doing the same thing to the president. Like, and one of the things I put in the notes was like, because we've talked about this before. It's like, like Biden's only been in office for like 8 months, or 3 months, or 2 months, or
wow, it doesn't even feel like that.
No, it's crazy, right? Like to think,
yeah.
I mean, this year has felt both extremely long and extremely short at the same time. Like, I can't believe that we're almost at Christmas already. But you're right. I mean, like, I think, and we've talked about this before, which is like the millionth time we've said this on this particular podcast episode, but the media fell in love with Donald Trump as president because he was a constant show. I mean, every single day you had some new, bigger, this has never happened before. We've never had a president that said these horrible things on tape. Like,
in the middle.
What were you saying, Joe?
So sometimes it was multiple things that happen at once. Like they would talk about something and he'll call into the network.
Oh, even
just go on a rant.
And that was the news cycle.
Right. That was the whole news cycle. It was like, I mean, during the candidacy, when he was running, it was all, live Trump rallies, right? Let's CNN. We're just going to carry it live. We're not going to freaking fact check any of the information he says during the live presentation.
The problem is they were making fun of Trump as if he never had a chance to win. And people felt that he was the underdog, and everyone loves the underdog, and that helped raise his stardom. And then he just kind of went with that momentum before nobody could stop him. And
I don't disagree. I mean, I think that certainly played a role in it. I think everybody kind of saw the way that the media was trying to like pick on him in a sense, and we're like, well, that poor guy. I speak like that all the time to my best friends in buses when we're getting ready to go on live television. Like me and Billy, what's his name?
Reagan.
No, Billy Reagan. Billy Bush.
He said on live television that he would fondle models before they went on the show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then Hillary's over there like laughing about it, like there's no way he's gonna win.
Exactly. That was the whole thing, right? At no point did her campaign take him seriously.
But we're doing it right now. This guy literally just sucked out all the air in the room.
No, it's true.
And it's like, but we actually have a guy in office trying to do his job.
Yeah.
But we focus on
negativity.
On negativity and
because that's what has been selling, right? I think like that's part of from a news station, cable news network perspective, right? Like negativity is what has sold for the last 20 plus years. I mean, it's longer than that, but
I will tell the news media seriously this, like,
more clown porn. Got you.
I will tell the news media this, like, it's not what I'm paying. Like, I'm turned off by your
Trump porn.
You're
turned off by Trump.
I'm turned
Trump
off
porn.
Trump porn. Like, I don't care.
Because that's what it is. Like, they were basically trying to make a presidential campaign snuff film out of CNN live coverage, and they failed, right? And so what they did for 4 years was they continued to cover because they knew that it meant eyeballs. And then when he lost, it was like, well, this guy's going to throw a freaking insurrection. We can talk about that for how long? And now he's not president. We're barely talking about him, except that the media refuses to let us forget that this dude was in office, and that during, I mean, I don't mean to like just cover a whole bunch of topics at once, but it's like we're dealing with this Roe v. Wade challenge in the Supreme Court. And we had one of like arguably the worst president we've ever had in the history of our country elect 3 Supreme Court justices in 4 years.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
And on top of everything else, as you look at I personally don't believe that the president has anything to do with unemployment. I personally don't believe that the president of the United States has anything to do with trade.
Yeah.
Or
the
GD or
strength
GD
of the economy, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's more accurate.
AKA
But
the stock market.
But for everything holy, like he does a press conference and reporters and journalists stop asking him about, well, do you have a cold? Like, who cares? like that's a question in a press conference.
Yeah.
And 80% of the time, I strongly feel that the media gets it wrong as to what is news to the people of this country.
That's it. It's Tiana Trump. I was trying to think of the porn star that named herself she named her stage name after Trump to say "fuck you." She's like, if there's any Trump that needs to get fucked, it's me. That's her line.
Nice.
Because of that, the Trump administration like kind of blackballed her from the internet for a while, so it was hard to find her stuff. And then she got pressed on drug charges. She got arrested for marijuana for a couple of years. So that like there's so much you can go into that rabbit hole about just putting the Trump name on things that Trump doesn't feel like it should be associated with. Having that said, look up her material. It's fantastic. Fantastic stuff. It's not clown porn, but it's fantastic. And this has been Joe's Adult Corner. Thank you for coming.
This is not a segment we are adding to the show.
Oh,
To be clear, I'm sorry,
I
Joe.
saw what you did there.
To hear the rest, tune into this week's episode of The Chris and Andre Show.